Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Current. Today we have a very special musical guest. From growing up in the mountains to playing the fiddle, Ann Hamilton has lived around bluegrass music. Keep watching to hear more.
Hey everyone, welcome. My name's Dev Diamond, and now playing the fiddle, Ann Hamilton.
My name's Ann Hamilton. I'm from the mountains in North Carolina, so it's about 5.5 hours west of here, outside of Asheville, 40 minutes east, so Chimney Rock, Fairview, Girton area. I'm studying biology and environmental science with a concentration in pre-vet medicine. I started playing the fiddle when I was about 7 years old. My aunt would teach us, me and my cousins, in our music room in our farmhouse once a week, and started playing the fiddle then, just for fun, and then my family is big into music, so just kept on playing. Yeah, so the first one I played was called Billy in the Low Ground. That one is one that I learned probably a couple years ago. It was one me and my dad used to play together, and it's really fun to pick on the guitar too, but it's a good fiddle tune. And then the second one I played was Whiskey Before Breakfast. That's just a classic fiddle tune. And the third one I played was Ashokan Farewell, which is a Civil War tune. It was written by Ken Burns. It's a really pretty tune. It's nice. The violin is typically played like more classical music. You play waltzes. It's got a different chin rest, so the chin rest sits in the middle typically. This chin rest sits on the side because it's a fiddle, and the way you play it. Usually the bridge also is flatter for fiddle tunes, so you can play more strings at the same time. Violin has more of an arched bridge, so yeah. I did play violin for a long time. I played Suzuki, so classical. I went through 10 books, and then that was actually really good to learn, I think, because it teaches you a lot about music in itself and just how to pick up different songs. So yeah, so Appalachian Mountains, definitely known for their bluegrass music, their different style, because it goes back, way, way back, probably to when like the Scottish people first originated and moved into the mountains, and they kind of stuck there. And I think that a lot of the music in the mountains especially is very, very like isolated, so you don't find a lot of that kind of music anywhere else in the country because it's very specific to that area. And being with people and growing up there, you learn the music because that's the kind of music that you hear growing up, and it's just a very cultural thing. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm very grateful that I grew up listening to that kind of music, and my family's always been around that kind of stuff, and it's just great. Yeah, so growing up in the mountains affected my music style because in the Appalachian Mountains, bluegrass is very well known to the area. It dates back way, way, way long time ago, basically when the Scottish and Irish people kind of came over and brought their music with them, and it kind of grew into its own thing, and then it originated out, but a lot of the music is still in that area, in North Carolina, Virginia, up into West Virginia. It's kind of up in the Appalachian Mountains, and just growing up hearing that kind of music, and my family made me want to join them and play in. We just have jam circles all the time at dinners and play with our neighbors and our friends, so it's definitely big, especially outside of Asheville in the small towns. A lot of people like to just hang out and play on the back porch and stuff like that. So at home, a lot of my family members play musical instruments, mandolin, banjo, fiddle, stand-up bass. They're all different instruments that are found in bluegrass music. Banjo is more of a recent instrument, as it like kind of originates from African Americans, but definitely has been brought into bluegrass. I think it was like early 1900s, like 1940s is kind of when it became a big thing in bluegrass music. But the fiddle's been there for a long time. Piano sometimes is found, harmonica. There's a lot of different types of instruments, but the fiddle is definitely one that you kind of need it in every bluegrass band. So yeah, me and my cousins and my sister have a bluegrass band, and we have a couple different instruments like I mentioned before. There's banjo, there's a mandolin, there's a guitar, a stand-up bass, and I play the fiddle. So we have a fiddle, and me and my sister sing, and my cousin sings, and we do a couple of gospel songs. We do a lot of old-time bluegrass music. We do some covers too, just because it's more fun, and people know a lot of music nowadays, so we like to bring in some more modern stuff, which can be fun. We traveled around to different breweries back in 2024 over the summer and just played small gigs and invited a lot of family. Most of the crowd that came out was our family. It was about 50 of them, so they would provide really good service to the breweries. It was fun. Also, it just makes hanging out at a brewery more fun. People hear about it, people show up more, and it just kind of brings the community together. Music has just always been a really big community thing, especially last year when Hurricane Helene hit. It was nice to be able to go home and play music in the wintertime. Even after the summer was over, we went home and played at the brewery we'd been playing at all summer, and a lot of people came out, even more people than they had in the summertime, so it was just a really cool thing to see the community come together and bond over the music that way. There's a lot of good memories playing the fiddle. It's just fun to play music with anyone really, but my favorites probably have been either playing with my cousins and my sister over the past couple years, just either practicing for a jam or getting ready or just even playing with them, and then having people just like dancing to our music. It's really fun to watch that. It just brings a lot of joy to you and the people around you, so it's really fun. And then growing up playing with my dad on our back porch was definitely one of my favorite memories too. Music has definitely brought a lot of structure into my life. Honestly, growing up, I practiced for an hour a day when I was in elementary, middle school, and then when I got to high school, I was doing a lot more sports, but brought a lot of structure, and it also brought a lot of different friends and people into my life. So people of all ages play music, and going to jam sessions, you meet people that are really, really good and also people that are not as good. So You meet a lot of people that way. It's really good networking, and you're just seeing the community is just a big thing for me. So yeah, my favorite song ever. One of my favorite songs to play on the fiddle is probably the last one that I played, A Stroke and Farewell, just because it has a lot of meaning behind it, and it's a really pretty old tune. Civil War has a lot of history, and growing up, there's a lot of Civil War history where I'm from and the town I'm from. It's just a beautiful song, kind of saying goodbye and to a lot of people that died and on both sides, and it's just a really pretty tune. I learned how to play the fiddle from my Aunt Elizabeth, who was the original fiddle player of the Steep Canyon Rangers band. She's not their fiddle player currently, but she was their original fiddle player. Their band that started in Chapel Hill, and they've had guests like Steve Martin play. He's a really well-known mandolin player. He's also a comedian, so he brings a lot of fun things to their band and different other bluegrass bands. But she taught me how to play the fiddle originally when I was about 6 or 7, and then I got lessons from a lady named Natalia, who is a fiddle player up in the mountains, and she makes a living off of her playing. She's really good. So yeah. I think everyone should have the opportunity to, at least once in their life, play an instrument, a musical instrument. Can be anything, but I definitely think it's brought a lot of positive aspects into my life, and it's just something that you can bring anywhere with you. If it's like a smaller instrument, at least, not a stand-up bass, but you can bring it to a bonfire, you can bring it to a friend's house, someone else plays an instrument, it's a great way to meet somebody. I think it brings a lot of joy in people's lives, and it's a really good thing to have in your life. Yeah, it can only benefit you.
Want to hear more music from Anne? Follow her band, The Lucky Buckeyes, on Instagram @lucky_Buckeyes. We want to thank you all for tuning in every week to The Current. This may be our last episode, but there's still great work to come. Thanks for watching.